Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different. We're setting aside the broader trends to focus on a single document.
And it's an incredibly focused report.
Yeah.
Very sharp, very heavy.
It really is. It begins with an act of violence in a place called Khirbet Al-Fakhit.
But it ends with this sweeping accusation aimed at the entire international community.
So it's layered. You have the incident itself on the ground in Masafer Yatta.
Yeah, but then underneath that, there's this fierce political argument about who's really responsible. An argument that goes right to the top.
Okay, so let's start with the incident. The report says it happened last night. We know Masafer Yatta is, well, it's a constant flashpoint.
Right, but this wasn't a checkpoint confrontation, not a property dispute.
No.
The source describes it as a raid. Israeli settler militias attacking Palestinian civilian families in their homes.
And the report is specific about the outcome. It wasn't just, damage to property.
That's all. It says 2 civilians were injured.
And that one of them sustained serious wounds.
That phrasing it's important.
Yeah.
I mean, serious wounds implies a level of brutality that's clearly intended to do more than just intimidate.
It signals a direct intent to harm.
Exactly. And this is where the report gets, well, explosive. It takes that violence you see on the ground.
And it argues that the engine behind it isn't local at all.
No.
Yeah.
It's saying it comes from the very, very top.
Hmm.
The source doesn't look for a local commander or a small group to blame.
A claim is just. It's incredibly blunt. It says Prime Minister Netanyahu isn't just ignoring this violence.
It says he's funding it.
Which is.
Yeah.
That's a claim of direct state sponsorship?
It is. By alleging that, the report completely reframes the violence in Khirbet Al-Fakhit. It's no longer just vigilantism.
It's policy.
It's presented as policy.
Hmm.
The text draws a straight line between the state budget and the physical injuries those families received.
That changes how you have to look at the dynamics in that area completely.
Right.
But the report, it doesn't stop with the Israeli government.
No, it then turns the camera around, so to speak.
On what it calls the so-called international community.
That choice of words, so-called, is a challenge in itself, isn't it? It questions the very legitimacy of any outside observers.
It does. And then it makes this assertion that these international bodies are fully aware.
Aware of the violence and aware of the alleged funding.
So the argument is that this isn't happening in the dark. It's not a secret.
Right. The implication is that the international community is acting as a spectator.
Yeah.
If they're aware, as the text insists they are, then the lack of any intervention.
That becomes a conscious decision.
It's not a failure of intelligence. It's a choice.
So it leaves you with a lot to process. You have the visceral reality of a family being attacked.
Paired with this declaration that the world knows exactly who's paying for it to happen.
And that really brings up the final difficult question that the source wants you to ask. If that claim is true, that the world is watching and that it is fully aware,
then at what point does just observation become complicity? When does knowing something become the same as allowing it?
a heavy question to leave you with. Thanks for listening.